having fallen into this dreadful material world, human being finds no ends to his miseries. If he takes the association of sadhus and serves Sri Hari, then his sufferings will cease. So the translation is there, it's direct, but if you read the song, it has a lot more poetic impact. E Gauda Samsara, the literal, like if you go along with the poetic meter of it, has a lot more impact. And this song is very important because for the last 2-3 days we've been speaking about Mangal Arati and Vibhavare Shesha, and very beautiful katha, but also very serious. We spoke about the demon anarthas coming again and again, Putana, Mura, Ravan, not once, twice, Kamsa, so many problems, so many obstacles, Hiranyakashipu, Bali Maharaj, we've talked about all these pastimes. But what is the platform? Before Mangalarti comes Samsara Dhava Nalalita Loka. So what is the importance of Guru? Sri Guru, by the desire of Sri Krishna. Krishna is that beautiful Navanirada, that beautiful rain cloud. Why is Krishna that beautiful Shambarna rain cloud? Because together with Guru, then he will shower his mercy on the conditioned souls burning in the forest fire of material existence. Samsara davanala lita loka. That rain shower of mercy is coming through Guru, but it is Krishna's mercy. Therefore, Srila Swami Prabhupada is called Krishna Kripa Murti, the embodiment of the mercy of Krishna. Any guru who is trying to bypass Krishna or say they can give you shelter and mercy without Krishna, this is not bona fide. This is bogus. So Krishna is that beautiful rain cloud of mercy in our life. And he appears through the favorable winds and through Sadhu Sangha and through Guru and Vaishnavas, and then they'll put out the forest fire of material existence. What is that? A Gauda Samsara. Gauda is a very strong word. Gauda means, in this word like Gauda, there's Gauda and Gauda. Gauda Samsara means very terrible, very horrific. It actually means horror. That's what it means. Gauda means like a horror movie. That is material life. We think, oh no, my life is great. But what if your life was to be an animal going into a slaughterhouse? That's a horror movie. And we've experienced that also. And we've been the perpetrator, not just the victim. That's samsara. We've been the perpetrator also. And people say, why do bad things happen to good people? There are no good people. But every soul is pure, every soul is good, and there's no bad people either. There's just souls suffering in material existence, turning away from reality, and suffering in the illusory life of material existence. But this is very fearsome, very terrible, very horrific. Gauda samsare. Bodhya manav. We have fallen into this and we cannot find napai dukkha shesh. You cannot find the end of this misery. We spoke about this last night. We think, oh, all things must pass. Yes, but karma, sangsar, chakra, the wheel of material existence and the cycle of birth and death, this will not end without some special assistance, mercy, and process, sharanagati. Otherwise, there's no end to this suffering. Napai dukkha sesh. If we were to talk about the Western world right now for a while, Vedic Dharma was prevalent in India for thousands of years, but in the West, people are very independent. People are very full of this pride of their power, their intelligence, their capacity to control things. But napai dukkha sesh, it's not ceasing their suffering. It's, I am, and I can do everything. But you're suffering. First, we have to acknowledge that we are suffering. Sadhu sangha kori hari bhaje jadi tabe anta hoya klesh. There's only one way to end that suffering. Spiritual life can anta hoya klesh. Krishna says in the Gita, klesho adhikata rastesham avyakta sakta chetasam. There's a process that increases your klesh and a process that decreases your klesh. Klesh means anxiety, suffering, disturbance. So independent spiritual life, I'll become God. I'll meditate on the absolute truth. This is very difficult, more painful. Klesho adhika. Krishna says more klesh in the Gita, in the 12th chapter. But bhakti yoga, this is the process that has no klesh. The only klesh is when you're getting rid of all the old klesh, suffering, and then you feel like, oh, because I'm following bhakti, I have so many problems. No, it's because you're getting rid of all your problems and you're attached. No, I want to hold on to this one. I want to hold on to that one. I want to hold on to that one. And you're feeling the pain of eradicating these problems. So it feels painful. But this is the pain of mukti, liberation. Freeing yourself from all these problems. It may seem painful. But Krishna says, what is the process in the Gita, in Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj, all the saintly personalities, and Krishna himself, even Lord Ram, in his teachings, would say, sadhu sangha kori. By sadhu sangha, hari bhaje jari, and by worshipping God, tabe anta hoya klesh. All these miseries are extinguished. So this leads us to the next verse, which is very similar to Samsara davanala lida loka. Samsaraya anale jwaliche hridhoy, anale bhadaye anal. Where is the forest fire? Forest fire is in the mind, in the body, in the senses. So many kinds of misery and suffering and anxiety and disturbance. Samsara anale jwaliche hridhoy. This is burning our heart. All these miseries. Krishna told Arjuna, why are you lamenting? Why are you suffering? Only because of your own bewilderment, your own material attachment. Therefore, samsara anale jwaliche hridhoy. Tatenu kampa means, this verse we've learned, that you should see all these external problems as the manifestation of your own activities just coming to fruit. And so we should tolerate and understand. Jwaliche hridaya, it's burning my heart. Anale bhadaye anal. It's increasing on its own continuously. Samsara anale jwaliche hridaya, this forest fire of material existence that is burning me, is continually increasing on its own. Like an insect that's stuck in a spider web and is trying to get out and it gets more and more trapped, more and more stuck. What are we going to do? The first line is telling us the problem. Second line is telling us the solution. Aparadachari. You must give up offenses. Lo Krishna Nam, and chant Krishna's names. Anale padaye jal. Then that chanting of Krishna Nam, while avoiding offenses, will be the water pouring, showering, and just extinguishing that forest fire. So what is Guru? In our line, what does Guru do? Nam. Nama Shristam Manumapi. They give you the Nam. Prem Nam. Infused with their mood and their love, and that it's powerful enough to awaken your relationship and your love for Sri Krishna. This is the only thing. Aparadachari, this is very important. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Aparada fale mama chitta bela vajra shama tuana mena labhe vikar hatasha hoya hari tava nama dhuka kori bharaduki dhake bhara bhar. Because of offenses, countless offenses, I'm not experiencing love for you, even while chanting your name. By the result of my aparada fale mama, the fruit of my aparad, chitta bela vajrasama, my consciousness in my heart has become like a thunderbolt, very hard and very cruel. Therefore, it does not melt. Therefore, I pray, hatash hoya hari. If that is the condition, then if we can accept that condition, then we can sincerely call out for help. Hatash hoya hari, hatash. I put my hands up. Hatas hoya Hari. Oh Hari, Krishna, you are the thief. You can steal away all these problems from my life. I'm so attached to my problems that I can't even give them up. So Krishna has to take them. Krishna has to take them. All you have to do is say, Krishna, Hatas hoya Hari, Hari, Krishna, please protect me, help me. That Hari, that lion, simply by his roar, then all the problems will run away in fear. And you'll steal away all your problems. Hatas hoya Hari. Tavanam, chanting your name, bharaduki, with lamentation. With what that is the lamentation we should have. This is not lamentation, this is the cry for help. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, you've prayed with this verse. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dheena Bandho Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute. Krishna, you are Karuna Sindhu, the ocean of mercy. You are Dina Bandho, the friend of the fallen. You are Jagatpate. I am no one's pate. I am your das. You want to be pati? Then you'll be patan, fallen. You want to be pati? You want patni? Then you patan, patan, patan. Then you get putra, mutra, fallen, fallen, fallen. Krishna is pati. I am das. Sabetara das. Everyone is a servant of God. Jaimane, Jainamani, those who accept it or not, everyone is a servant of God. Bhoktaram, Jagyatapasam, Sarvaloka, Maheshwaram. Krishna is Supreme Lord of all the worlds. But I will be controller, I will be Krishna, I will be Purush. Then, Gora Samsara, Bodhiyamanav. Enjoy. You cause pain to others, enjoy the results. You think, I can be pati. Yes, and I will take care of these children. I will take care of this person. Yes, I can do everything my own, my power, my strength. Everything is me, 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 me. I will do it and I will be a great person because of that. You can be pati, but Krishna is your pati, then you can be pati. Because then you'll be das, servant of Krishna. Otherwise it's all Maya, 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 capturing you. So, aparada chadi lo Krishna nam. We are suffering. Hatas huya hari. Bharadhuki dhaki badabar. I'm calling out to you again and again with great prayerful mood. Dina dhoya moya karuna nidhana bhava bhindu de rakoho parana. Dina dhoyamoy, oh Lord, you're so merciful. Dhoyamoy, karuna nidhan, you are the complete embodiment of all mercy. Bhava bindu de, please give me one drop of this love for you. Bhav, pure love for you. Rakoho paran, and protect and save my life. When Mahaprabhu prays Shikshastakam verse 6, from our condition, he's saying, oh, I'm not able to weep, so I am weeping. First, we have to weep that we are not able to weep. I remember hearing this from Braj Prabhu so many times growing up. Brajendra Nandan Prabhu, our teacher, so many times you say, simply you have to begin somewhere. Kabe habe bolo se dina mar. You have to begin there. When will I be able to pray? Begin with that prayer. Kabe habe bolo. When will that day come? Se dina mar. When will that day come? Aparadha guchi. Right? How's the song go? Aparadha guchi. When will these anarthas go away? Kabe habe bolo se dina amar. So we have to develop this prayerful mood in bhakti. Casual bhakti. It's not, right? We think, oh, everything will be good. This is like play school bhakti. Play school bhakti is good for those who are qualified for play school bhakti. But when you suffer more, then you become qualified for primary school bhakti. Primary school bhakti, that's temple life, not play school bhakti. Play school bhakti means let's go to the Sunday program and hang out with our friends and have some prasadam and do some kirtan and go home. Very good. Play school bhakti. Like kids, you go to the place and you play with some other kids and you have fun and oh, this was really good. But you're still attached to that web of samsara. Samsara davanala lida loka. You want people say, oh, I want Manjari Bhav. I want Radha Dasyam. You think this is a toy? This is a toy you can play with like a kid? A toddler, Radharani doll and me doll, and we'll play together and decorate Krishna. Yes, yay. Yes. But this is very high. This is the highest treasure. Aparada guchi, shuddha name ruchi, kripa bhole habe, hridaye sanchar, kabe habe bholo, sedinaya amar. Oh, tell me. That means someone else has to help. Tell me, when will that day be mine, when my offenses will cease, and a taste for the pure holy name will pervade my heart by the power of your mercy. So Guru, who is connected to Krishna, can help you approach Krishna. But Guru who is connected to Krishna is not Krishna. They don't have Krishna Abhiman. That means they don't have big Guru Abhiman. They have Das Abhiman. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said, Das Oham, I am the servant, I am the servant. Now people say, I am your Guru, I am your father, I am your everything. Follow me, follow me. For Mahabhagavat, Gurudev said, no problem. This is proper. But Gurudev said, don't imitate Mahabhagavat. I am Nityananda Prabhu, I am Rupa Goswami. Now people are saying, oh, they are like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I travel and preach and people say, there's so many problems. Why? So many gurus. Without any consideration, people still eating meat, not following any rules and regulation. Oh, giving 20, 40, 50 people initiation one time. Afterwards, they don't know what happened. And the disciples are saying, no problem, they are like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, more than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, more than Gurudev, more than Gurudev, more than Mahaprabhu. Now, people are preaching Gurudev's. I heard this just yesterday also. Another situation, different situation. Oh, nice preacher in Gurudev Sangha, more than Gurudev, giving more than Gurudev. More than Gurudev. But this is fact, therefore it's a problem. If it wasn't a fact, it wouldn't be a problem, and I wouldn't have to speak about it. Because this is Maryada Vyatikram, going against Maryad. And these Vaishnavas don't like that either, but it's the followers making the problems. There was a poster made where, oh, Gurudev, Prabhupada, and this Guru Maharaj, this sadhu, very small below. And sadhu is on top of them, with his feet on his Guru Varga. Not by his decision, by stupid Bhadajiva's decisions. Conditioned souls making aparad. And then thinking, I am big person. I can arrange everything. I know everything. I am leader. Sala, in Hindi they say, you are donkey. So the point is, this is a big problem. Big problem, not a small problem. Big problem. What is the problem in the West? Everyone is Guru, no one is Das. We've seen it, right? Everyone is Guru while having their own Guru. Meaning, greedy. I'll be Guru, I'll be leader, I'll be ruler, I'll be controller. But you don't know anything. First learn, go to primary school, go to high school, go to college, graduate, then learn to help people and be able to help yourself. Where they said, follow Varnashram Dharma. 70 years old, take sannyas. Give up your business, sell your business, give it all to the mission of Guru. Take sannyas, then be Guru. You're stuck in the attachment of material life, not able to help yourself, not able to help anyone, and only causing problems in society. Busy intelligence. So this is the situation, not here, everywhere. Everywhere, busy intelligence is ruining Gurudev's mission. It's not busy intelligence, it's busy fool. No guidance of pure Vaishnavas, so they're busy fools. Busy fools destroying Gurudev's mission. And this is my service to speak about. And I don't care who doesn't like it. But I'm 3-4 days, all day long, we can speak about beautiful katha. But when problems are brought to me, I address the problem. And this is a problem. Just yesterday, someone saying, oh, more than Gurudev, helping everyone, more than Gurudev. And Gurudev Siddhanta, oh, this Gurudev, I know he said it 1,008 times. But really, this is like for preaching. And anyhow, who is Gurudev? Gurudev doesn't know so much. More than Gurudev or many other acharyas. And what doing? Gurudev Prachar. Yeah. Gurudev Sangha Prachar. Yes. This is called piracy. So this is not sadhu's fault. Sadhu is pure. Sadhu is sadhu. Honor the sadhu. Worship the sadhu. But follower means follow 100%. Then you're a follower. Sadhu isn't a toy. This is the problem. Oh, I'll find nice sadhu and they'll be my toy. So sadhu will cheat also. I am not criticizing any great Vaishnav. Any great sannyasi. You honor, you worship, you do arati, you take the Charanamrita. This is Prabhupada's instruction. He said, you come, you worship, you bathe the feet, you take the Charanamrita. Because the problem in the West is there's no real faith in sadhu. Everyone is sadhu. But no one wants to take shelter of sadhu. You take shelter of sadhu, you can become sadhu. But you always remain under shelter. Real sadhu is always under shelter of Guru Parampara. So the sadhus aren't the problem. It's the followers who are following their mind, their ideas, and not Parampara. So this is never going to free you of the situation. Never, 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 never. Million lifetimes. Million lifetimes. So now there's a ban. Can't speak Gurudev Siddhanta in his own home. This is a ban now. Gurudev Siddhanta is not allowed in his own home. So Gurudev is there. Gurudev said, I'll go on vacation. I'll go to that place where my Siddhanta is preserved. Yes? And then you have your very nice center. Mayavadi center. It's Mayavadi Bhavan. No Guru is present, then Mayavadi place. So Guru is present, I know everyone will be upset. Guru is present, everyone is present. But where are you? You are in Maya. And yes, I am in Maya also. So I should not be speaking. Okay, no problem. But the problem is, there is a problem. And that problem, how will it be solved? Won't be solved. Won't be solved. Problems will stay with the problems, and those who don't want problems will go away from the problems. And only time will solve. Only time will solve. Because without anugata, you can't solve the problem. No one wants that. No one wants the truth. Everyone wants a sweet candy placebo. Everything is good. Everything is great. But what is your responsibility? So Samsara davanala lida loka. Who brought you out of Maya? Who is Gurudev? You ask somebody, what is Gurudev's mission? No one has an answer. Because they don't know. Because there isn't one. What's the mission of Gurudev? I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this. I'll do 1,000 things without doing the one thing that's necessary. Do the one thing that's necessary, then all the other things will happen. Sharanagati, then anything will happen. But no Sharanagati, you want to be Guru, so you find a puppet Guru to control. Because you're not qualified to be Guru. So you find a puppet Guru. Oh, and I will give you a lot of money, and you'll be my follower. Sadhu has their own business, their own way. So sadhu will say, yes, no problem. And they will go and help the jivas. We are not criticizing anyone, and we're not talking about anyone, but this is the situation. So, samsara dhavanala lida loka. Don't think it's so easy to get out of samsara. Don't think it's so easy. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, we'll go to him because we also have his bhajan to meditate on. And so we'll go through the whole samsara dhavanala, but today's strong class. Why? 3-4 days, too sweet, so sweet, yes? But also strong. Yesterday was strong also, but very sweet. Vibhavadeshisha, Radhadasyam, Kam Gayatri, Thakurji, very sweet, but balance is good. Because only sugar causes diabetes, but everything about Krishna is sweet. His sasana is also sweet. His chastisement is sweet because it's for everyone's benefit. So Samsara davanala lida loka. When Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada began his preaching mission, there's so much opposition. So much opposition. Why? Because he spoke the truth boldly to help people. There's so much apasiddhanta, vyabhichar, durachar, nisidachar, nonsense problems. One time, Vaishnavas described this story. This is from Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's time. There was a young man who wanted to come. You have to understand the potency of the Gaudiya Math, how it became such a powerful force, and where it went wrong so that the same thing doesn't happen. What was the power of ISKCON? And then what were the problems? What's the power of Gurudev Sangha and what are the problems? You have to see what's good and then acknowledge what's problematic so that you can avoid what's problematic and focus on what's good. Otherwise, it's just like play school drama. No Siddhanta, no nothing. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's time, one young man had a dream. He wanted to join and come to Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. But as he was coming, on the other side, Sahaji has captured him. Babaji's captured him. Oh, who is this Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada? Stay with us. We do Raskata, we do Lilakata, we relish the juice. They only suck on the pit. And so then all day long, they're doing so-called bhajan, and nighttime doing sex bhajan. Nice young man. Nighttime, you have 3-4 Matajis and practice Parakya Ras. This is what they were doing with him. He wanted to come to Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. Prabhupada told this story many, many times. Gurudev also told this story. So what happened? Every night is called Dakini, witch, Dakini Sakini. Oh, this is Parakya Ras. Sahajiyas say, oh, this is just like bodily function, like sometimes passing stool, passing urine. So what is the problem? Little sex life, scratch the itch, what's the problem? Because of that itch, religion, bad name, society, bad name, leaders destroy their communities. Right now I can name 4 places, destroyed community. Why? Just because not tolerating that stupid itch. Right? So they were destroying him. They were saying, how can I get out? How can I get out? So he prayed. He was meditating and praying. Where is that Bhaktisiddhanta? He didn't know. And they were like completely capturing him, surrounding him, not letting him escape. So what did he do? He began to pray. Sincerely from his heart he prayed. And then he had a dream that a lion was coming and roaring and throwing aside all these nonsense people and bringing him out. And the next morning he went to the Ganga and he was praying, how can you help me? And Sadhu came and said, what are you doing here? Come. He's calling you, he's waiting for you. And he came and took shelter of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Surrendered his life, became a very strong brahmachari. So by our own strength, it's not possible. We need help. Samsara davanala lida loka. First line you have to understand. If you're in a forest fire and you're burning in the forest fire, how are you going to put out that forest fire? You're in the middle of the fire. Where are you going to get water? You're in the middle of the fire and it's burning your heart. Jwaliche hridoy. So you need help, but you can't accept that. Why am I talking about these other problems? Only because to help you understand that if you need help, you can't solve your problem. You need help. How can you solve it? You have to surrender to someone who can help. And then they can help. Otherwise, you go and fix your problem. It's not possible. You're in the forest fire of samsara. These problems are little tiny indications of the problem. Right? We're trapped in the web of samsara thinking, I can get myself out. I'll be fine. I'll be happy. I'll be this. I'll be that. Everything will be great. And I'll worship God. Worship God or worship dog? Walking the dog. Walking the dog, this is bhajan. Getting paid. I'll walk the dog and everything will be good. And I'll walk the dog and then I'll sit on the corner and smoke some marijuana and think about Radhe, 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 Jai, 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 Shri Radhe. Lover in one knee, right? One hand embracing my lover, one hand smoking marijuana, and then engage day and night in materialistic activities. And I'll be Radha Dasyam. So you have to purify that, crystallize that mood, that desire, and then gradually remove impediments and obstacles, right? If your house is on fire, you have to call the fire department, or your neighbor will call the fire department. Sometimes your neighbor will call, sometimes you will call, but you need the fire department to come. So Guru and Vaishnavas don't act without your will, your desire. So therefore we call out Samsara dhava nalalidha loka tranaya karunya ghana ganatvam praptasya karunya gunanavasya vande guru shri charanada vindam. This is calling the fire department. Every morning we call the fire department. Mahaprabhu kirtana nitya gita varitra madhyan manasoratsena romanchakam pashrutaranga bhajo vande guru shri charanaravinda. This is a simple thing. That's why Prabhupada said this is Mangalarti. First understand Guru Tattva. Why is ISKCON so strong? Guru Bhakti, Guru Nishtha is the backbone of Bhakti. So ISKCON has a backbone. ISKCON has a backbone. Therefore they have a mission. Therefore all the stages of development of Bhakti will come. Prabhupada knows that. Without a backbone, what can you build? You're just jellyfish. Jellyfish and someone's dish. Okay? Oh, jellyfish and someone's dish. If you have a backbone, you're no one's dish. Backbone and teeth. Bite. Don't come close. Don't disturb me in my Guru Bhakti. So understand, sentimentality and bhav are not the same thing. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he built this mission with so much solid strength and foundation. Thousands of years, this will never waver. That's why the acharyas come together like that. Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. Together they give the highest thing and then they give the strength to protect it. Sad Sandarbha, they give the strength, the platform, the foundation. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Bijabhushan. Established the Tattva of Srimati Radhika and Gaudiya Bhashya, commentary Vedanta. Padam Gurudev and Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada and other acharyas. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev. Together these acharyas come. But how can you continue that maryada and get the benefit of it? Spiritual life is not for the weak, for the cowards, for the timid of heart. It's for those who are courageous. Otherwise, the fire department comes and you say, fire department, thank you for coming. Let's sit down and have some tea and let me talk about my problems. Everyone wants to talk about their problems. But then the fire department comes and says, I have no time to talk with you. Let me start my work. I have come here to work, not to chit-chat. Talking is problem solving if you're actually identifying a problem and going towards solutions and acting on the solutions. Otherwise, it's just chit-chat. It's mental enjoyment. It's a form of mental enjoyment. I like to wallow in my misery and my problems. Everywhere you go, anywhere I preach, Gurudev said this, so that means it's there. Gurudev said, with Gurudev, all I hear, I'm talking about this high thing and how to fix your life and how to do everything, and then it's only problem. Gurudev would say, how many times are you going to get divorced? Now, how many times are you going to get remarried and then divorce again? Do bhajan. Hare bhaje jadi. Without Hari bhajan, bina bhavyatarya iha urugar. You can have 1,000 times hear from a sadhu. This becomes like a social interaction. I want to hear from the sadhu. I want to be with the sadhu. But you should follow the sadhu and take the lessons the sadhu is giving and follow it. Then you can become sadhu and escape samsara. So you call the fire department every morning, Samsara dhava nalalida loka. But then the second verse, What does the fire department say? You want to extinguish the forest fire? Then Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita. Mahaprabhu Kirtan. Otherwise, no fire will go out. To put out a fire, you need some activity, right? So the fire department comes and says, let's put it out together. Grab a bucket. Grab a mridanga. Grab some kartals. Grab a gong. And go and chant. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadhavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopala Govindaram Shri Madhusudhana Giridhari Gopinata Madana Mohana Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gopta Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Jai Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath. This is Mahaprabhu Kirtan. Mahaprabhu saying this kirtan. There's so many kirtans. Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The root problem in our societies today is that everyone wants casual bhakti, play school bhakti, and the monk order is eroded, just like the Brahmin class was eroded in India. And then everything became weak. The Kshatriya class was eroded, everything became weak. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada established this proper, what does it mean to be brahmachari sannyas? What does it mean? Nowadays, there's no respect for that, for the most part. Why? Because people who adopt that position are completely disrespectful. So, situation, it's not anyone's fault, but it's the situation. There's very little maryada. And there's very little missionary focus on what does it really mean to achieve the goal of life. Everyone likes to talk about back to Godhead. Let's go back to Godhead. But without following the process, how are you going to go back to Godhead? How is it possible? Is it ever possible? Not so easy. Samsara davanala, that fire has to be extinguished. Then you can get out. So what does it mean to extinguish the forest fire of material existence? What does that mean? What is samsara? Samsara is material attachment. You can be in family life, but without material attachment. Krishna bhajan, Krishna bhakti. What does that mean? Krishna dikshadi shikshanam. Follow the process. Take diksha and follow the process. Shiksha here, and then bhajana kriya. Follow the process of bhajan. Some practice of bhakti must be there. Otherwise, no problem, play school is great, but you can be in play school for many lifetimes. So in human form of life, we should make this life successful. There's so many other stories, there's so many important details, but let's end with something sweet. We can tell another story tonight, something very beautiful, very sweet. But without the power of the sadhus, it's not possible to escape samsara. Without the power of the sadhus, without hearing Harikatha and practicing bhajan, doesn't matter whether you're grahastha or vanaprastha or sannyas or brahmachari. What's that verse of the Bhagavatam? What number is it? Jad Bharat speaks to Maharaja Rahugana. Your favorite verse? Yeah, I want to find it again. I can find it. Okay, yeah, find it for us. Jad Bharat said it is the mind that is the greatest enemy. And he said, it doesn't matter if you're a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. We've seen that in our society. It doesn't matter what is your position. Grihastha, Gurudev said, is better position, safer position. But for those who are following Anugatya, Guru and Vaishnav, that's why without the acharya it becomes difficult time. And everyone becomes confused and argues and fights. Why? Everyone thinks now I can be acharya instead of just being das. And following those Vaishnavas who are actually qualified to be acharya. Be under guidance of pure Vaishnavas. And then they will engage automatically. They're very favorable. They will do what's best for you and best for everyone. It makes you happy and makes everyone happy. But you have to follow with faith. No faith, then outside of bhakti. So there's so many beautiful stories. I want to tell a story about a boy. You ready for Arti? Is the offering finished? Yeah. Okay, so very quickly, 5 minutes. There was a boy whose destiny was to die at the age of 16, the stroke of midnight. When he was born, he had a very dear nurse who was always taking care of him. She slept in the pathway to enter his room. Lord Brahma, the creator who comes to write the destiny on the forehead, couldn't cross over her because he followed etiquette. Lord Brahma follows etiquette. We don't follow etiquette, but Lord Brahma follows. So he said, please, dear lady, you should move so I can enter. She said, no. Finally, she let him go on the condition that he would tell her what was the destiny. So she let him in, but that she wouldn't let him out. Devatas come through the doorway. So you don't lay in the doorway and then no one can come in. Right? If you go to main temples in like Puri, where they're doing arti, you don't block the Devatas' space. The Devatas come in the middle. You don't block their space. So Brahma said he will die at the stroke of midnight on his 16th birthday. You have a very good life, otherwise be very happy as a prince, but he'll die at that time. He said, if you tell anybody this, you will die. So the boy was raised. He was a very beautiful boy, very happy, very jolly. The nursemaid took great care of him. But once he became a teenager, she would always see him and cry. She would bring him his food. She would talk to him, but she would weep and weep and weep and weep and weep. He said, why are you crying all the time? He said, I can't tell you. I promise I can't tell you. If I tell you, it'll be a problem. He said, you must tell me. He was a prince, so at that point you get a little like princely mood. Hey, you're just my servant. Tell me why you're crying. You're disturbing me. She said, I'll die if I tell you. He said, I don't care. I don't believe you and I don't care anyway. I don't believe you, really. And so he said, I'll call the king and the queen. And they came. He said, you have to tell him. And she said, I'll only tell him, not you. And he said, okay, afterwards he can tell us. So he told him. Brahma came. I was there. And he told me that on your 16th birthday, you will die. He became very sober because at once she died. So it's like, oh, good joke. And then she died. Imagine, for a moment he's like, is that really true? Is it really possible? And then she died. So then he thought it must be true. So he didn't want to tell anyone, disturb anyone. He thought it must happen, it will happen, it happened to her. He thought, what I can do is, the only thing I can think of is there's a great rishi, great sage, great sadhu living in the forest near our kingdom. So that last day, the day before his 16th birthday, he left without telling anyone. He got on a horse and he rode the horse into the forest. This is a Puranic story, Itihasic story. And he came and he approached that sadhu and offered sastang pranam. And sadhu said, come, I know your problem. Oh, you know everything? He said, yes. He said, can you please help? He was weeping and weeping and weeping. Can you please help? And he's saying, this is fate, this is karma, what can you do? What can I do? He said, no, please, I know, sadhus are very powerful, I know you can help. No, this is your karma, what can I do? No, sadhus are very powerful. He said, if you'll follow what I say, I can help. You have to follow. Will you follow? Yes. So he said, he has this like this table. So he had like a bed. Sadhus will sit on the bed and do sadhan bhajan, like a wood cot. So he said, sit underneath. And I'll sit here and do bhajan and japa. And sit right underneath, under the wood bed. And then it was like 8, 9 p.m. and great storm clouds came, and very dark storm clouds. And then lightning started to strike. Midnight, 11:30 to midnight, was lightning all around the sage's ashram. Doom, 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 and coming closer and closer. The sadhu was sitting and doing bhajan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Doing strong bhajan. Strong bhajan. So all of Indra's roars, all of his threats, he couldn't come close to the sadhu. Indra's afraid of hurting the sadhu. He's seen many times what happens when you hurt the sadhu. So many examples in the Bhagavatam, Indra having problems. So Indra Maharaj, it was his service to kill that boy because of his karma. But he couldn't do it because of the sadhu protecting him. Sadhu said, nope, Indra, go back, 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 stay back. He didn't even have to say anything. He's just sitting there. Doesn't have to say anything, just Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Indra's afraid. Sadhu is very powerful. People think I am powerful, king is powerful, Kshatriya is powerful. Without sadhu, guru, there's no power. Indra, when he was dishonoring Brihaspati, defeated in a moment. Without Guru Shakti, Guru Kripa, like, take the example of Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna said, oh Arjuna, come down from the chariot. No, Krishna, you are my charioteer. You should get down first. Krishna said, listen, don't think about charioteer and who is lower and higher position. Just please, we finished the war, everything's over, just get off the chariot. No, you should get down. Okay, fine, I'll get down. So Arjuna got down, Krishna stepped off, in a moment burst to ash. Krishna had protected all those weapons of all the Kauravas. Krishna had protected Arjuna. Hanuman had protected Arjuna. So what is Arjuna's power? Everything is Krishna's power. Bhima's son, grandson, Garudakhwaja's son, Barbarik. He was witnessing the whole Kurukshetra war. Yes, Mahabharata war. And afterwards they said, who did everything? Who killed everyone? He said, this is all Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Arjuna, you saw that? Don't you remember, Arjuna? Why are you forgetting now? Arjuna and Bhima were arguing, who is the MVP of the war? Who killed more people? I smashed this many with my club. I shot this many with my arrows. Arjuna, don't you remember 11th chapter? Not the 11th chapter. Remember about halfway through Krishna's conversation? A little bit after halfway through the conversation, he showed you the universal form, and then you saw everyone entering into Krishna in the universal form. You forgot? You are the doer? There's only ahankar. You're not the doer. Krishna is the doer. So this boy wanting to solve everything, not possible. So he sat there. Then finally Indra thought, okay, let me go and meet him. So Indra, flash of lightning, and Indra appeared. And he offered pranam to the sadhu. Sadhu gave blessing. He said, dear sadhu, please, it is my service by destiny, by the dictates of karma, by the law of the universe, by the will of Yamaraj, it is my service to send this boy to his next life. Sadhu's chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Dear sadhu, did you hear me? Right? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Did you hear? He's afraid to speak loudly, right? Sadhu finishes his meditation, his japa. Oh, Indra, you are here. What is the disturbance? Oh, I have to kill this boy. Oh, yes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Please, will you let me? Sadhu said no. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Please? He said no. He said, don't disturb me, I'm doing bhajan. I don't have time to talk with you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Indra thought, what are you going to do? It takes two people to fight. So the sadhu is not interested. So Indra may bark, 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 bark. But how can he fight with the sadhu? Sadhu is just doing bhajan. Fighting means you have to reciprocate. So then he thought, okay, I'll go to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma, we have to kill the boy. I'll go to Yamaraj. Yamaraj will come and say, oh, dear sadhu, please, this boy has to go. Dear sadhu, please. He said, no, I decided he'll stay. I decided. Okay, please give some symbolic sacrifice. What is that? Let us take like one finger. Can one finger die? No. He has nice fingers. Why do we take his finger? I promise to protect him. We'll tell other stories tonight how Hanuman protected devotees. Even Ram wanted to kill someone and Hanuman protected them. It's another story. So many stories, the power of the sadhu, power of bhakti. So this said, can I have his finger? Nope. Can I have a fingernail? The whole fingernail? No. He said that extra part of the fingernail, the part that feels no pain if you cut it, you can have that part. You can trim his nails. Okay? Okay. And Lord Brahma, you agree? Yamaraj, you agree? Indra, you agree? Everyone agrees? Okay. I said, dear boy, stick your hand out just enough so they can trim your nails. So, oh, nice. Okay? And he said, after everyone left, he said, okay, now you should follow bhajan. Now your old life is dead and gone. You should think, I saved you because I'm giving you new life. That old life is gone. Old life is gone. What is new life? Divyam jnanam yato dhadyat kuryat papasa sankshayam. Transcendental knowledge, getting rid of all pap, sinful tendencies, all past karma, then achieving spiritual life. Dvija, second birth. What does it mean to be Dvija, second born? Second born means Grihita Vishnu Dikshako, Vishnu Puja Paronaro, taking Vaishnav Diksha, serving the Supreme Lord Shri Vishnu or Krishna, following bhajan. And he said, if you follow this process and you go back to your kingdom and you be a good king, and you take care of all your subjects, and you have your wife and children, and you know that you're a servant of God, you're no one's control, you're not the king of the earth, you're not the king of your family, you're not this or that or anything, you're just das. You're a servant of God. As a servant of God, you can, if you're a good leader, you can help others become servants of God and live a righteous life and be prosperous and happy and follow bhakti. You agree? Yes, I agree. So he went back and he was a very great king. But he was a great Vaishnav, a great devotee. Those external roles and responsibilities are temporary. One life you're a king, next life who you may be, who knows. But if you want to go to Vrindavan, Vrindavana Purandar, Krishna is the king, Nanda Baba is the king. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, Vrindavana Purandar, he is the Supreme Lord. And Brajendra Nandana, Nanda Baba is king. So you're going to go to Vrindavan and compete with Nanda Baba? You're going to compete with all the gurus there, Purnamasi Yogamaya, you're going to compete with her and compete with Brinda Devi and compete with, who else? All the sages who come, Durvasa Muni you're going to compete with. So you want to be in Vrindavan, there's no guru position in Vrindavan for you. For me, for anyone. No one is guru in Vrindavan, no one is king in Vrindavan. Nanda Baba is king, Krishna is prince, Srimati Radhika is empress, Vrindavan Ishwari. All the gurus and rishis are there. Purnamasi Yogamaya is there. Brinda Devi is there. Srimati Radhika's kinkaris are there. Her Sakhis are there. Sakas are there. Mother Yashoda and her associates are there. Everyone is there. Krishna's family is there. You want to be there with Krishna? Then you can be das. Then you won't even be das. You'll just be family member, associate. There no one has the title das. Everyone has the title very dear friend. Saka, Saki, Gopa, Gopi. That's all the positions in Vrindavan. Go, Gopa, Gopi, Saka, Saki. Yashoda Saki, Nanda Baba. To Nanda Baba's friends, he is, oh, my dear friend Nanda Baba. Baba. So Baba position is there, Saka position is there, Maya position is there, and Saki position is there. But no authority control position. Under Parampara, you have controller, then you can follow their instructions and distribute their instructions. And that's position in Vrindavan. Receive and distribute. Parivesha, distribute prasad. Oh, Shri Rupa Manjari is asking this seva. Can you help? Lalita Saki is instructing, you're in Lalita Devi's party, that means you have to help build the kunj. Lalita Devi is in charge of making the kunj, decorating the flowers, doing everything. So you want to help her, you have to be under guidance of those in her line. You want to help Vishaka Devi, then those in her line, Ranga Devi, Sudevi, Champakalata, Induleka, and so forth, Rangalata, you have to follow their guidance. Then you can enter Vrindavan. So therefore this, Prabhupada said, Nirvasesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatari. Prabhupada came to deliver the West. He established Guru Bhakti. He established Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They have so much Guru Nishta, so much Guru Bhakti. Nowadays this is becoming lost. Because no one is qualified Guru, but there's always parampara continuing. Qualified means, are you qualified to surrender and be under guidance? And also don't think that the acharyas are gone. Ramanujacharya Sampradaya is present, Madhva Sampradaya is present, Vishnu Swami. Their parampara is present, they are present within their parampara. They are the patriarch. Their presence is there, so you surrender to them, and then their parampara. And serve with humility and grace and dedication, and you're connected to their parampara, their strength. The strength of the fruit is only the tree. Where do you get water from the tap? From the river or from the reservoir? Where do you get power? From the main, from the powerhouse. We have power now. Oh, look at this beautiful light bulb, Guru. Beautiful power. Beautiful power. Yes, but ultimately the source of all power is Krishna. And who is the powerhouse in any sampradaya? Srimati Radhika, Krishna, and those Jagat Gurus who come, those Bhagavatacharyas who come. They're the powerhouse. You surrender to them and follow them, then that Shakti will flow. Then you can give light and give watts. That's what Gurudev said also, many times. And for his own mission. And that is what is being arranged by Vaishnavas. So we pray for the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas. Okay, Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhuvevacha patitanang pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Gurvastakam ki jai. Jai Gopramanandi Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna.